So you may have seen her on stage, or perhaps you're one of the 10,000 followers that frequent her popular YouTube channel, Baby Got Bot. All who have heard her speak are guaranteed to have been inspired, which is why today I am super excited to be chatting with the one and only Kelly Noble Mirabella.
Thank you. What a great intro.
Kelly, as I had mentioned to you, I have a series of questions that I would love to just have a bit of a cash chat with you, just to get to know you a little bit more. Clearly you are an absolute trailblazer in the chat marketing space, and I, am constantly inspired by the work that you are doing, and I am sure that your responses today will inspire other people to dig into chat marketing and to bring that into their digital marketing strategies. So I know that you have over a decade's worth of experience in digital marketing. So I would love to hear how you first discovered chatbots and how you've now transitioned to make that, your core focus in digital marketing.
Sure. So my background is digital marketing, specializing in social media marketing. And because of the nature of the beast, I'm a bit addicted to Facebook, you might say. So a couple of years back, let's say 6 years ago or so, I was cruising around on Facebook and I saw a Facebook ad that basically said, hot new thing, if you comment, we can send you a message. And I said, there's no way. I'm telling myself, there's no way, right? I'm one of those people. I talk to myself, no way. Of course, I'm going to try it. And I did. And I immediately got a message. And it blew my mind. This was 6 years ago. This is before ManyChat existed. This is before any of these big social or chat marketing agencies existed. And here is this little tool that did this magical thing, which ironically today is just one teeny tiny little piece of what can be done. And I bought this thing. It was basically a comment growth tool. I bought this software that just did this one thing because I thought it was so unbelievable. And I started experimenting with it. And unfortunately, I was just too early to the game, way too early. People just weren't getting it. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to shelf this one. And I did. I shelved it for like 2 years. I didn't touch chatbots. Just kind of kept it over there, kept my thumb on the pulse, if you will. I knew what was going on, but I knew I was way too early. So then ManyChat came along and I signed up. I didn't do much with it. And then at the end of 2017, I finally sat down and thought, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to play with this. And after a couple hours, I became addicted. I became hooked. I saw not only the thing that initially had gotten me excited about chatbots, which was this comment growth tool, but there's just so much fun things we can do. And this is so early on. We didn't even have the visual growth tools that we have, or the flow builder. We didn't have any of that, but it was a magical world to me. And as an 80s child that grew up reading choose your own adventure books, I thought, oh, this is just amazing what we can do. And I got really excited and I just dove in and became obsessed. And I used to build games and leaderboards and quizzes and all these fun things. And in order to learn this stuff, I had to go to YouTube. And there was just not a lot of, first of all, there was no one out like me. There were no women out there trying to explain this to me. It was mostly guys, no offense, dudes, but it was techie dudes that spoke a different language. They're like, I know, like coding talk and like, woo, just like over my head. And mind you, I understood a lot of it because of the nature of working with a lot of developers through my career and everything. So it was kind of like I had to interpret, and I thought to myself, this could be done better. And I decided that as I learned, I would teach. And that's kind of how I got into at least the educational side of chatbots. So there you got two sides of my story, how I got into chatbots and how I got into teaching chatbots.
Excellent. And just for those who are watching and don't know what a comment growth tool is, are you able to just explain what that does?
Absolutely. I'll explain the magic of this thing. You're on a Facebook page or in an ad, and you comment a specific keyword or phrase, or you could just comment anything depending on how the growth tool is set up. Let's say I want you to comment as you wish, and you wrote as you wish. I would then be able to automatically set it up so that a messenger message would go from my page to your inbox immediately with the intended message that I want to send you. And the power of this is just unbelievable, because you're able to grab people where they are when they're hot. So imagine you're, let's say, in a Facebook Live and you sell makeup and you're showing off this new makeup that you're, selling, you're having to sell, you're showing them the lipstick and they're all, oh, wow, I love that color. Where do I buy it? Instead of saying, when I'm done, I'll follow up with you, comment below, I'll follow up with you. Right then, they're ready to buy. Right then, you can have a comment growth tool that goes off and your chatbot, boom, can send them and they're purchasing while they're hot, instead of hoping that they'll still be interested when they walk away to deal with life as we know it. And that generally doesn't always work out. So
and the other great thing that I also love about the comment growth tool is how it builds a personal one-on-one relationship, how it uses the account details of the user to be able to say, hey, Kelly, and instantly form that relationship. So I agree. It's definitely exciting technology. So that kind of leads into my next question with you, actually, because I know a lot of people, when chatbots first came out, were using them primarily for lead generation, because it is, a great way to be able to sell.
Sure.
However, as the communication becomes more of the norm and users are getting more comfortable using the tech, I'm seeing also a lot of people now transitioning to use them as a customer service agent. So almost somewhat making some capacities within a marketing team almost redundant, because now the technology can speak on brand constantly, respond to FAQs consistently. So have you seen any cool brands that are using the tech as a customer service agent or more of a communication tool as opposed to it just being lead gen?
I have seen companies, in my space, there's a lot of industry, or a lot of companies in my industry, the digital marketing agency industry, if you will, where you have like companies like Agora Pulse or InVideo, or, these large tools that people use that do have a lot of questions coming at them. And they balance really well this concept of utilizing a chatbot with a human touch, because that's kind of how the best way to do customer service, in my opinion, is to have a balance there. But what a chatbot can help you do, like you said, is it can absolutely help you with those questions that are bogging down your customer service representatives. So that frees them up to handle the more intense questions, more complicated questions, or to really serve the client better, so that you can have really good customer service experiences where they're needed, instead of having to be bogged down with the same questions over and over again. The chatbot can handle. How much does this cost? Are you open? Does this include this? So
that's awesome. That's great. So one of the things that you and I are obviously passionate advocates for ManyChat, using that software as your main chatbot building platform. And one of the new cool tools that they had released in 2020 was the dynamic main menus. So for those of you who don't understand what that is, it's effectively a mini website that sits within your Facebook Messenger account. And with this particular new feature, you can change the website or the menu dependent on a user's segmentation that they might have. So for example, if they are a existing member, or if they are an existing customer, you can change the menu, which could be relevant to their personal experience or what they would typically be wanting to know from you. In addition to that as well, one of the extra things that was brought through was the Comment Growth Tool 2.0, which I'll let Kelly share a little bit with you about that. So this is the next level up from just sending messages to people based on keywords. Now there's a next little up that can happen with that.
Yeah, they did recently update the comment growth tool 2.2, the 2.0, and it does a couple of things. The thing that you're alluding to, obviously, is the most exciting thing. Everyone's excited about the comments and likes, which means when you comment on my post, I not only send you a message, but I also reply to that comment on the post, something to the effect of, hey, we just sent you a message, go check your inbox. And then we also can like that post so that it creates even more engagement. Little side pro tip, don't just say, hey, we sent you a message, go check your inbox. Also add a question so that they come back and then add to that engagement further. But the other thing that they updated in the comment growth tool, for those of you that are real nerdy like me and are at the level of understanding what these things are, and if you're not, don't worry about it, you will be. But you have now a confirmation message that can be somewhat customized. Everyone who comes through the comment growth tool has to confirm it's okay for you to send messages, but you can say things like, have a condition that if they are a current subscriber, you could say, hey, welcome back. We just have to confirm it's okay that we can send you messages still. Is it okay? And if they're not a current subscriber, you can say, hey, welcome for the first time, so you can have a little bit more flexibility with that message that is required.
The great thing that I love about that as well, my expertise is, my personal expertise is more in paid performance. So one of the things that just completely excites me about that is that when you are driving relevance and engagement to a particular ad campaign as well, you are boosting its relevancy. And the higher the relevancy score that you can get on a paid campaign, the more reach you have for the less spend. So it really is just such a great way strategically, not only to be building relationships and engaging with your fans, but also reducing the ad spend that you might have to put in, or even rather leveraging the ad spend a little bit better. So I absolutely love that. So I would love to ask you a question, Kelly, about an exciting or a unique campaign that you may have run, one that really, got you pumped and you thought, wow, this has just made such a difference in my client's life. And if you could just share a little bit about that, that user journey and the industry that the client was in.
Sure. So one of the most fun and best experiences I had with a messenger bot was actually for me. I created a messenger bot campaign for fire relief funds for Australia starting December last year that went through February. I created a summit that all the funds that we raised would go to nonprofits. And along the way, a lot of things happened that any normal circumstances would have been like, forget it, it's not worth it. How are we going to solve these problems? But every single time we ran into a problem, a chatbot solution was the answer. So I'll give you a couple of examples. It was myself and about 3 other volunteers that helped to do this, fully unpaid. We just decided we're going to raise some money. Why not? And my entire family, I have 2 little girls. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 7-year-old. They were, at the time, a year younger than that, but they were sick with the flu. My husband was sick with the flu. I had just gotten over the flu. We were all very sick. And I had this crazy idea right after the holidays before the new year to run this thing. So the first problem I came against was I didn't have time to onboard speakers. I had posted something on my Facebook account, my personal profile. I said, here's what I'm thinking. I got a lot of friends in the industry. Who wants to help me raise some money? And I had over, I think it was like at the time, 58 people were like, yeah, me. Wow. I was like, oh God, what did I just do? So I created a chatbot that took basically all the work off my hand. I just built one thing and it took care of the rest. So it collected their headshots, their titles of their presentations, the descriptions, all the links we needed, their bios. It also collected the video when they were ready to submit it, and it put it all on a Google spreadsheet, all organized and nice so that Like, for
Awesome.
instance, the designer who was doing our landing page voluntarily was able to just go in and grab it. And our graphic designer who was doing all of our graphics would able to go in and grab that. And the person who was raising money from sponsorships was able to go and get all the information right there. So that was like solution number one. The other problem we had was my accountant informed me that I couldn't take money. So the idea initially was we will get money in the bot, and then we would make a big donation to a cause that we chose.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is the way that the tax code works is I would get hit really badly with taxes, and it would end up hurting me in my business. And I would be ending paying taxes and income that I didn't even get to keep because I was donating it. So, so instead I had to come up with a solution. How was I going to do this? And someone had said to me, well, if you really wanted to make a difference, you wouldn't take money. You would have people, prove that they donated. And I was like, how am I going to do that? Like, people are going to say, I'm sick. My kids are sick. I have volunteers. We have businesses to run. How are we going to like shuffle through emails or something? So instead, so I built a chatbot that actually facilitated the donations to individual organizations. So it basically created a gallery, and we chose 4 different organizations that we would say, here are the ones we suggest. And then also another area where you could go and choose whatever one you want. And then you would go through the bot and you would actually submit a receipt, and you would put in how much you made. You would verify your currency. The chatbot would then make calculations and transfer that into US dollar. And then it would automatically enroll that person in the level of the summit that they get. So for instance, if someone donated $50, they would be enrolled in the 1-month access. If they donated $100 or more, they would get enrolled in a lifetime access or a 1-year access, something like that. And I didn't have to do anything. The bot did everything. I know, it blew me away too.
Absolutely amazing.
It took me a little while to figure this out. There was a lot of playing with it and tinkering with it. But at the end of the day, we raised $10,000 in a matter of about a month and a half with no advertising, no money. We didn't take any money. We did nothing other than just build
the system.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that was probably the best experience with the chatbot, because it just solved so many things, and it opened my eyes to so many more things that were possible that I didn't think about before.
Yeah, so what I have kind of got from that, well done, that is amazing. And thank you for supporting Australia.
Of course. Hey, I'm from California, and I have been evacuated from my home twice since living here, so I get it.
Oh gosh, yeah. So what I loved about that particular use case was that you've shared that it's not just for lead generation. It could be used for project management. It can be used to save time, to organize tasks that's in there. Some of the key things that I picked up from there, and feel free to add if I've missed anything, was that
it does calculations, it organizes people. You can use external tools to collect information, send information where it needs to go. The other thing that we did that was a lot of fun was the enrollment with the platform we used was kind of cool. So
and can you share a little bit about that?
We use Thinkific to host because Thinkific donated the accounts to us. And so we used Thinkific to create 2 different course types. One was the lifetime and one was the 1 month. And technically, just so everyone, it's really important that you understand this. If you're hearing this story, I don't want people to think they can just sell their courses in ManyChat. You can't sell digital products in a messenger bot, but we didn't sell anything. It was free. And so, it was free for us, and it was them donating off-site, proving they donated. And then we just did the thing. So we didn't take any money. Nothing was in the bot that included taking money. So we use Thinkific. So I use Zapier essentially just to connect the chatbot. And I had just a condition based off of the calculation on how much they donated. And then it would condition them to one flow if they donated this much or to another flow. So it just helped to really get it. I mean, there's so many things you could do with these conditions and calculations, and Zapier will basically open your world even further to connecting you to CRMs and ESPs and all this stuff.
Trying to find a Zapier expert is just,
it's a lot. Yeah. It can be a lot.
Yeah.
I would consider myself, mid-range level. I think some people would think of me as an expert because I can probably get it done, but I would never call myself a Zapier expert because sometimes it could take a while. Be like, oh, what are we gonna do here?
It's unbelievable. I mean, being able to connect so many different apps to just, really perform any function that your mind is capable of perceiving. It is
absolutely,
it's great software. So I'm just getting back to that amazing use case that you had shared. Some of the things that were great in that was that users could upload photos, they could upload descriptions and information, which automatically was segmented and populated within a Google Sheet. You were able to program conditions. So it somewhat acted like an app. However, it was all delivered within social media, which is brilliant because let's face it, nobody wants another app downloaded on their phone. So that is great. Two more quick questions, Kelly, and then I can let you get on with the rest of your day. So there's so many things that are happening in this space at the moment. We're so lucky that we have jumped on board in its infancy because clearly those early adopters are the ones who are going to generate the most results from this. So there's some big changes which are coming at the moment. And I would love to know from you, who is notably one of the biggest experts within chat marketing, I would like to know what is the one thing that is exciting you about the future of chat marketing?
So I'm a big nerd. So the most exciting thing for me is what the data is pointing to. The data supports the fact that messenger marketing and chat marketing is the future. It's not just the future, it's like happening right now. There's now more people using messaging apps than there are using social media. And I think we can see a lot more of these people wanting to have more of these smaller town squares of discussion. I can't think of anyone I know that's not currently in some kind of messenger chat or private chat, but with more than one person, like group chats are going on. So I think that as a data nerd like that, I get excited about that because I've been in this industry for so long, like the social media industry, the digital marketing industry, and to have this much data proving that it's not a trend is refreshing. Because
I agree.
It's not always been that way.
Yeah.
A lot of what we had to do before was just based off gut and experience. And now is like, no, this is a fact. It's working. It's happening. The other thing I'm really excited about is obviously we're seeing that the APIs are opening for Instagram and WhatsApp. And I think that's going to be an exciting development as well. I think we're going to be moving more towards this omnipresence of marketing, which is instead of multi-channel marketing. I think a lot of people get this confused. You will indulge me a second to explain the difference. A multi-channel marketing is if you have all the puzzle pieces. Omni is when you put the pieces together and you create that clear picture. And it's just making things very seamless for the end user so that they can go back and forth between your Shopify store and their Instagram chat and, all Messenger and all these things you want them to go through with it being frictionless as much as possible. And I think that the possibility of that happening in the near future is very bright.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's amazing that you can connect with people on social media, but then continue that discussion in such a personalized way now across whatever platforms they really enjoy, whether it is, messaging apps or email or SMS or what have you. So yeah, I totally agree. And my last question for you, Kelly, is how would you explain chat marketing to someone who knows nothing about it?
Oh, let's see. I think most people that say they don't know anything about it actually do. Hold on to your devices. If you know of Siri, if you know of Google Voice, if you know of, these like Alexa and stuff, I know everyone's Alexas are going off right now. Those are, those are types of chatbots. Those are things that are built on the back end. They're choose your own adventures that are happening that a human built. And it's just taking people down that path that you want them to go. How fast can you solve a problem for someone? How fast can you take them from point A to point B, whether that point B is a human or a solution or a product that they're ready to purchase? That's what chat marketing is. It's that, except it's conversational.
Yeah.
So it's a way for us to build conversation into our funnels, essentially, which I think is only going to improve the human experience. I know that seems very like different than how people think of chat bots. You hear chat bots, you're like, oh, you're trying to take the human out. And I'm like, no, we're trying to put the human back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I would explain it, is like the choose your own adventure of technology.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. So thank you so much for your time, Kelly. I have really enjoyed chatting with you, which I knew that I would. A massive fan of watching all your YouTube channels and your training series. You've definitely taught me and the staff at AdSocial so many different things. And we just love your energy that you put into everything that you do to help support this industry and help really progress this way of marketing in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great, it's nighttime for you now, isn't it?
It's later in the day, yes.
Oh, later in the day, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 4 o'clock, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
About
all
4.
right. Still reasonable. So you're finishing your day, we're just starting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Up nice and early to make this call with you, but definitely worth it. So thanks so much, Kelly, and we hope to chat with you again soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.